What's up, guys? Zayd here, and before I get too into this video, I need y'all to do me a favor. The last couple videos I've uploaded, I felt like the visual quality was kind of bad, and I think I fixed it in OBS. So leave me a comment, let me know if this looks better than the last couple videos. But with that aside, I did a video about every monster that can be summoned using the effects of the tier elements, and it inspired me because of this card here, Gem Knight Amethyst, to make a tier element Gem Knight FTK deck. And this deck is honestly really cool. I've got the deck list right here I'm going to go over real quick, and I also have two replays to show you, one with access to Black Garden and one without. And so I'm going to get into the deck profile and then show you all the combos. And so I'm maxed out on tier elements, 3 of each name. So 3 Havness, 3 Merly, 3 Sheeran, 3 Rhino Heart, 3 Field Spell, 4 Field Spell with Terraforming, Instant Foolish, and then I play 1 Scream. I think Scream is cool because if I open a handful of tier elements, I could search it. And then I also play a small danger package with 1 Mothman, 3 Nessie, 1 Jackalope, 1 Tsuchinoko. And then for this card says Crystal Rose. I see why I said that. But for the Gem Knight package, we have 3 Crystal Rose, 3 Gem Knight Lazuli, 3 Gem Knight Lapis, 3 Gem Knight Fusion, and then 3 Black Garden, which in this deck is like an honorary card for the Gem Knight engine. For those of you that don't know how the Gem Knight FTK works, you're trying to spam Lady Lapis Lazuli, which requires Lapis and a Gem Knight monster to fusion, which is why Lapis is our vanilla of choice. And it lets you send a Gem Knight monster from your main deck or extra deck to the graveyard and do 500 times the amount of special summon monsters on either player's side of the field. So without access to Black Garden, we have to resolve this effect 3 times. And there has to, within the 3 times, be 14 special summoned monsters, which means one of the instances, or not 14, 16 special summoned monsters. So one of the 3 instances, we have to have 6 monsters on board, so our Link Zone and all our zones, and then the other 2, we can have 5. But with Black Garden, you only need to do it twice because you can at most do like 5,500, and then the next one's like guaranteed to finish them. The extra deck, I'm playing 2 Kit Kalos. If anything were to go, it would probably be the second Kit Kalos if you wanted to make room for something. I play 1 Lulu Karos. This card is not technically essential, but the thing I like about it is that if you have the extra extenders and can put it up early, you'll do your combo through Nib. Then we got 1 Kaleido Heart. It's just a dark. It hasn't really came up yet, but I've only tested a little bit. 2 Lady Lapis Lazuli for the FTK. 2 Gem Knight Amethyst. Like I said, this one can be summoned using the tier elements, which makes it really, really good. When you have access to only tier elements, and then you do your mill play and you mill Gem Knights, you now can turn those mill Gem Knights into Gem Knights on the board by fusioning these dudes. Then we play 1 Gem Knight Master Diamond. I could be playing a 3rd Lapis, but I'm playing him instead. He's pretty cool. He just banishes Lapis from grave to copy its effect. And then I've got a Curious, a Garura, Muddragon of the Swamp, Saryuja, number 60 Dugaris, and then the Gem Knight Phantom Quartz. This card's nuts. He on summon lets you search a Gem Knight card, and then you can also pay 1,000 to summon by shuffling back from grave or banished, which is just really, really strong. And so now I am going to show you guys one of the combos. This combo was just a test hand. I opened Black Garden, and I wanted a Black Garden one and a non-Black Garden one just because it is it's way easier when you draw a garden. I kind of wanted to show that. So we're going to place Garden, normal Rose. Garden is going to give them a token. Rose effect is going to dump Lapis to copy its name. Then I'm going to special Siren by pitching the Lazuli from hand and then milling 3, which is going to give them another token. And my mills were cracked. They always are. In this deck, your mills are especially cracked because you have the 15 names for the tier elements that are good to hit. But then your Gem Knight cards, the Fusion has a grave effect, the Lazuli has a grave effect, and then the other ones being in grave is beneficial for those grave effects. Also, Crystal Rose, if you don't lead with it, also has a grave effect. I mean, if you lead with it, it still does, but since I led with it, it doesn't matter if I mill it because I already have access to it. But on this new chain, they're going to get the other token, which I'm working on moving to them. And then I'm going to get Havness, Sheeran, and Lazuli's effect. So this kind of goes crazy. We're going to use the Sheeran and I think the Nessie to make Kit Kalos. And then we're going to use Havness and Lazuli to make Amethyst. And then we're going to put the Lapis back to our hand. And so here we already have 2 Gem Knight monsters now. Because Crystal Rose copies the name, this card is currently Gem Knight Lapis. And then this is Gem Knight Amethyst. We're also going to give them more tokens. I think this next special, I forget to give them a token, but at this point, they basically have 5. We're going to use Kit Kalos to search Murley, Tribute Kit to special Murley, mill 8. And as you see, the mill 8s are nuts. We mill a Lazuli to add back the Lapis that we also milled. I believe we already used a Havness, so that's not going to matter. But we milled the Gem Knight Fusion, which is really nice. So now I've got 3 Gem Knights in hand. I'm going to banish to add the Fusion back. We're going to turn our 2 Gem Knights into the Phantom Quartz. And then I'm going to banish a Fusion to special Crystal Rose back with his Grave effect. We're going to use Crystal Rose. Oh, we also give them that final token. And I'm not going to use Crystal Rose yet, actually. I'm going to Poly into Lapis, burn them for 5k. And then I'm going to add back the Gem Knight Fusion. Use the Quartz to Fusion. Also, right there I didn't send with Lapis, but I could have just sent a second Amethyst from my extra deck. It doesn't really matter. But then here we're going to make the second Lapis, and we're just going to burn them. And so that's that replay. Like I said, when you have Black Garden, it's so easy to do. And then I'm going to pull up this other one. This is one where I don't get access to Black Garden the entire play. And you can see how much more difficult it is with all the bodies you have to put on board. Like, I opened a really good-looking hand, and it only gets better based on my mills. So we're going to summon the Sheeran by pitching the Rhino Heart. I like this instead of leading with it. So based on my mills, if I get a way to get 1 Gem Knight, but I don't get away for another, I could always just normal the Lazuli. So we're going to mill 3. And also this one, I kept track better of which Tearlament effects in Grave I've used, because sometimes I'm bad at following along with those. But we're going to bring back the Rhino Heart, and we milled Havness. So I think it's Havness 1, Rhino 2. Or Havness 2, Rhino 1. So I'm going to shuffle back, make the Kit Kalos, dump Murley, and I was going to use Murley's effect, but I decided not to. I'm going to search Murley, and then I'm going to tribute Kit Kalos to special the Murley from Grave. We're going to use the Murley from Grave to mill 5. We had a Havness that we've already used. We had a Murley, which we haven't used, and a Gem Knight Fusion, which is always good to hit. Oh, I forgot we still had 3 more mills, but those mills were dead. Murley shuffle back. Summon Garura. And then I'm going to Foolish for Crystal Rose. Banish the Kit Kalos to special the Crystal Rose. Crystal Rose dump, I think Lapis. Yeah, dump Lapis. Then I'm going to overlay for Dugaris. I thought this line was kind of cool too. Dugaris, bring back the Lapis. And now I could turn those into the Link. Then I'll use the Link. He pays 1,000, I think, to search. He either pays 1,000 to search or pays 1,000 for the Fusion. So if he summoned, he just searches. Then you pay 1,000 for the Fusion. Gonna add Lapis. Gem Knight Fusion back to hand by banishing a Lapis. Gem Knight Fusion again into Lapis. And we're going to add back Lapis. I'm tired of saying the word Lapis. And then Gem Knight Fusion, banish to add back. And now here we can use Quartz to put back the 2 we banished to summon another Lapis. And so here this is 6 monsters on board. And so that's going to burn him for 3,000 each. I'm just subtracting from my life to show it. That'll put you at 2k. Or put them at 2k. And then I'm going to use Lapis, add back. And then I'm going to use branded Fusion. Use Gem Knight Fusion to fuse 3 into the Master Diamond. And then Master Diamond banish the Lapis to copy its effect. And we're going to dump to finish the game. And so that is the deck profile. I'll bring it back up for you guys once again if you want to see it. This idea I had last night when I recorded a video. I had the idea of doing this. And then I started testing it this morning. So this is by no means like the end-all be-all list for it. There's not even going second cards in the deck. Like, this is just a framework, and I'm hoping that by presenting this idea to you guys, you can let me know what I've done wrong. Maybe I messed up effects. Maybe this doesn't even work the way it's supposed to. So, like, I challenge you to watch my combos and point out all my mistakes. And also, hopefully, you could find, like, new ideas that could help me break this strategy. So, all in all, thank you for watching, and I hope that you not only watch, but continue to contribute to this idea if you're interested in it by, like, having a discussion with me in the comments. And again, check the quality for me. Make sure this shit looks better than it did before, because my last couple videos, they were in, like, 360p or something, and it kind of pissed me off. 360 pissed off. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Take it easy.